him and Puffy.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Well, I say when you moving, because I just bought a house.
This is the story of how Master P walked into Suge Knight's territory, refused to kneel, and saved Snoop Dogg's life in the process.
You know, man, I grew up in the Galileo Project.
right.
Ain't nobody gonna soft press me, man.
Right.
I don't care who you is.
Back in the late 90s, three forces ruled Los Angeles: earthquakes, traffic, and Suge Knight. But while the first two just made you late for work, Suge could end your career or your life. The man was the Grim Reaper of the music industry. He didn't walk into rooms, he loomed.
He was not scared of Suge Knight. They was terrified of Suge Knight.
Right.
I mean, terrified.
I know.
No, to death.
Suge Knight ran Death Row Records with the intensity of a mafia boss and the ego of a movie villain. Tupac, Dr. Dre, and Snoop Dogg, megastars, were all under his shadow.
Everybody else was scared of
Right.
everybody. That's when Suge Knight was the monster, the boogeyman.
So when a new face entered LA and didn't check in with Suge, it wasn't just seen as bold. It was borderline.
Everybody at that time was deadly afraid of shit.
That face, Master P. Now, Master P wasn't just another Southern rapper trying to get a slice of the West Coast pie. He was a whole different baker. Hailing from New Orleans, P came in with vision, grit, and a business sense sharper than Suge's intimidation game. Where Suge used fear, P used finesse. Where Suge weaponized loyalty, P inspired it.
I was working against the devil, and through the grace of God, Master P put a deal together.
His approach was simple. Artists should own their work, not be shackled by the record industry. Naturally, this earned him the respect of his peers and some serious enemies.
But they spent all this money on your album and marketing, but wasn't getting no way out ass money. On No Limit had money. Everybody on No Limit had a house, a car, two in a bank account.
Notably, Suge Knight, Diddy, and Birdman saw Master P as a threat, someone who was changing the game and, most importantly, stealing their shine.
Puffy and them was rocking, but they wasn't getting no money like Master P was. Like, and I had been around they camp, I had been around Def Jam, I was on Death Row.
Master P founded No Limit Records, a label that didn't just pay its artists, it empowered them. P flipped the script in an industry notorious for shady deals and exploitation. His artists got checks, got credit, got equity. No Limit wasn't just a label, it was a movement.
I had seen all the that supposedly had the money. Master P had money.
True independence.
He had the money.
And this movement caught fire fast. Suge was used to being the undisputed king of the West Coast. But P wasn't intimidated. He made it clear, No Limit was a force to be reckoned with, and there would be no checking in to Suge's rule.
I've never been afraid of no man, you know.
While Suge was beefing and brawling, P was out here turning independent hustle into generational wealth. By the time he moved to LA, he was already building an empire. But things got spicy when he attempted to sign none other than Snoop Dogg.
I told Snoop, we the biggest company in the world now. If he needed a home, why not be with us?
Snoop was still tied to Death Row, but he was disillusioned.
So it's my job to keep that on top of the rap game. Ever since we've been in it, we've been on top, so I can't let us fall.
He just survived a murder trial. He and Dr. Dre had split, and Tupac was gone.
Years don't get much more emotionally trying than the one Snoop Doggy Dogg has just gone through. Surviving a murder trial.
Not guilty of the crime of murder in the first degree.
And Suge, he was behind bars.
Death Row Records mastermind Marion Suge Knight has been in lockdown for violating state probation by beating the hell out of some guy at a Las Vegas casino.
But by the late 1990s, Death Row Records, once the king of the West Coast rap game, was falling apart.
But Suge became too invested in hood politics that brought the business down.
The notorious Suge Knight ran the label with an iron fist and had seen his empire crumble due to legal battles and a series of internal conflicts. By 1997, Death Row was on its last legs, and it was clear that things were about to get ugly.
Suge was in jail, but that doesn't mean Suge is not still coming at you.
And Snoop? His business was in shambles, mismanaged by Death Row management.
My business was garbage back then. Death Row Records. I let them control everything because I trusted them and I felt like they wouldn't do me wrong. They put me in the game.
Snoop needed a fresh start, far away from the chaos Death Row had caused.
Everything was in Suge Knight's name. Business account was his account. Manager was his wife. Imagine all of that being twisted up like an octopus. On top of that, I was being just disrespected. Like,
oh, he's whack.
And Master P gave it to him, no strings attached. P saw potential in Snoop.
Oh, I told Snoop, we the biggest company in the world now. If he needed a home, why not be with us?
He wasn't just another artist, he was a huge name, and P knew No Limit could take him higher. He laid it out. We represent the South, and we're on top. Why not join us?
And that's when Master P stepped in and gave me a better situation.
I respected Snoop as an artist. I was a fan. I felt like Snoop needed a team.
The industry was stunned. Suge's golden child was now riding with the Southern General.
To me, Suge and Master P were the same kind of people.
Probably sell about $10 million this time.
Two brilliant, business-minded, Fortune 500 guys from the street.
Suge Knight wasn't about to let go of his biggest artist without a fight. He tried to control Snoop, but Master P wasn't intimidated. He stood his ground, knowing this was more than a business decision. It was a matter of survival.
Everybody at that time was deadly afraid of Suge.
But Master P wasn't fazed. He didn't care about the threats. He was never afraid of any man. Master P made the deal happen.
Master P went to go visit Suge Knight in the penitentiary and struck a deal.
That rope had to sell Snoop to keep the business rolling. No Limit, we could make a business move like that.
He met with Suge Knight in prison, worked out some numbers, and put up the cash.
I met with Suge Knight and said, look, man, what you want for Snoop? I heard that you got a deal on the table.
The price for Snoop's freedom? A couple of $1 million. But P didn't stop there. He added more money, sweetening the deal and ensuring it was done right.
Conversation, they got to understand it. Worked out some numbers.
Told me what it was, and I put an extra $200,000 or $300,000 on it.
Once the deal was signed, it was official. Snoop Dogg was now a no-limit soldier, and it wasn't just a career move for him. It was a life-changing moment. Snoop performed his first concert with No Limit fans, and the reception was overwhelming. People were ready for something new and embraced Snoop with open arms.
I mean, he showed me how to put business because I hadn't had a record label. I was always talking that doggy style.
Never sue the other driver after a car accident. There's a better way to get paid a way bigger check without having to go.
But I didn't have no record label. Master P showed me how to put a label together, how to go get money.
Snoop was on a roll. From featuring on Gangsta Shit with Mystical to setting Snoop up, Master P helped him bounce back financially.
And I told him I wanted $3,500 because I was broke and I was just like, could he get some money? P gave me a check for $35,000. All right, he put another zero on that motherfucker. It's my kind of nigga.
In 1999, Snoop released his sophomore No Limit album, Top Dog, which went off the charts.
Oh my, we own it now.
I was like, ooh, I wanted to get on it, but damn, it wasn't my album, it wasn't my song.
In total, he did 3 blasting albums with Master.
I did 3 albums with Master P.
3 albums?
Yeah, when I left Death Row Records, I signed with No Limit Records, which was the hottest rap label in the industry. When I signed with No Limit Records, they was the hottest.
But here's the twist. Snoop wasn't just switching labels. He was considering dropping a diss track aimed directly at Suge. After the ink dried on the deal, Snoop was ready to go on the offensive. His idea? To release an album titled F***CK Death Row, a full-on diss project aimed at Suge Knight and the label that had made him a star. To Snoop, it was his way of venting years of frustration. But to Master P, it was a reckless move that could cost Snoop his life. Suge Knight's associates were still powerful. A diss album would ignite a violent reaction. Master P wasn't about to let that happen. Imagine that. The beat was ready. The bars were locked and loaded. Snoop wanted to let it fly, but Master P, calm, calculated, wise beyond his years, stopped it. Don't do it, he told Snoop. Not out of fear, out of foresight. Dropping that track would have been career and maybe the other kind too. This was the streets. Suge still had soldiers, still had pull. So P made the call. No diss, no fuel for the fire.
Master P, he had a plan for us. He ran down what he thought that should happen as far as music, albums, movies.
In that moment, he didn't just save Snoop's career. He might have saved his life. Snoop himself credits Master P with saving his life. And when you look at the context of the time, it's easy to see why. Leaving Death Row wasn't just a career move. It was an act of rebellion in an industry where rebellion was often met with violence. Then came the infamous I Got the Hookup Comedy Jam in 1998 in Universal City. The vibe was electric, and the show was sold out. On stage, it was laughter and music, but backstage, it was war.
So in 1998, Master P did a I Got the Hook Up comedy jam at the Universal Amphitheater in Universal City, California.
I'm a big fan of Master P, and I'm just looking forward. He's just constantly breaking history and making.
Snoop was chilling in the green room, enjoying the calm before the storm, when 7 men in black, Death Row affiliates surrounded him. The mood flipped instantly.
We went on the stage, and Dog got left.
He was in the green room. So this is what happened. We sitting on the inside. Death Row guys walk up. So we chopped it up. 5 minutes later, it's about 7 of them around me. I ain't paying attention. So the soldiers then went on stage. Now I'm back here talking to these deaf about myself.
One leaned in and whispered, "You owe Suge an apology." Snoop blinked. For what?
We end up yapping and yapping and yapping. They talking behind my ear. So I'm like, let me holler at you. So now they were like, you owe Suge apology. I'm like, Suge. Like, what?
Then came the swing. A punch flew, missed, and just like that, chaos detonated.
Maybe Snoop was talking crazy to them and they caught him slipping.
Hey, now I'm back here talking to these Death Row niggas about myself. Try to take off on me. Whoa, he missed. I get out of there.
Word reached Master P's crew on stage. They dropped their mics and sprinted off. Camouflage shirts and red bandanas turned the backstage into a war zone. Chairs flew, fists flew, the air cracked with tension.
They literally ran off the stage in the middle of the performance.
And everybody was like running out of the gate, so we run after.
DJ's got the record spinning. There's gunshots.
Cops swarmed the building, guns drawn, helicopters buzzed overhead, and Snoop ran right into the hands of the cops.
I get a whiz, no cuts, no scars, no hits, no nothing, but I run right into the law. With weed in my pocket and everything, because I'm trying to save my life. They handcuffed me. He put me in the back of the police car.
Meanwhile, everyone was looking for him and thought the Death Row guys had attacked him.
They didn't know where Snoop was. They're screaming, "Where the f*** is Snoop? Snoop, all right." The 20 cops aiming shotguns at him. They're screaming back, "You all need to get on your knees. Everybody on your knees." And they're like, "We ain't getting on our knees."
Nobody knew. Snoop had vanished into the chaos. When the dust settled, some were cuffed, others scattered, and somehow Snoop and Ray J, yes, Ray J, ended up in a holding cell together, like he just stumbled into an episode of Oz.
They take me and my cousin Daz to jail, and when we get in there, Ray J's in there. So we spend 4 hours in jail with Ray J. I ain't making this up, man.
It was madness, but it also made one thing clear. Master P wasn't to be played with. That night, he proved he wasn't just a rapper, he wasn't just a businessman, he was a leader. And No Limit wasn't just a label anymore. It was a shield, a fortress, a family. After the dust-up, Snoop was officially No Limit for life. And P, he went into overdrive.
No Limit did prove to Snoop that we had his back.
He's not with Death Row no more, he's with No Limit. Nobody's messing with Snoop. That's it.
He didn't just double down, he expanded. Music was just step one. Movies came next. No Limit films hit the scene. I Got the Hook Up, Hot Boys, and a $10 million deal with Trimark followed. Studios didn't want him in their projects, they wanted him running them.
In 1999, we want to expand our brand, so we did action movies, and we were able to sell that in about 30 different territories.
And that's how Master P got a $10 million 5-picture deal with Trimark. Nobody in hip-hop was doing that. Nobody.
We expanded, and y'all just might see me on Scream 3 too.
And then came wrestling. Yep, P took No Limit to WCW. 2 matches, $2 million. Done and dusted. He didn't care about belts. He cared about bags. But that's the Master P blueprint. Pivot, elevate, dominate. He even made a serious run at the NBA. The Toronto Raptors gave him a preseason shot. He balled with Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady and didn't look out of place. A $3 million contract was almost on the table, until front office drama iced the deal. Still, the man went from rap battles to running drills with NBA legends. Who does that?
I had a $3 million 1-year deal on the table. And the next day, they decided to go a different direction because Vince Carter, agent Tank, had got in trouble.
Through it all, he never folded, never faked it. While Suge Knight's empire crumbled under ego and violence, Master P's legacy grew through strategy and vision. And that infamous check-in attempt, they picked the wrong one. Master P didn't just survive it, he thrived through it. The boogeyman met his match, and the boss walked away crowned. By the early 2000s, Suge Knight was behind bars, but still talking like he was running things. And in a new prison interview that went full scorched earth, Suge claimed that Death Row didn't just inspire Master P, he was trying to be Death Row. According to Suge, Master P was moving city to city, New Orleans to Texas, then the Bay, before finally landing in LA. And to Suge, that was where things got real.
Basically got ran out of there. You went to the Bay. Once you get on the West Coast, shit get real on the Bay.
He said P didn't have tough guys around him, and he mocked the idea that Master P was ever really about that life. But Suge wasn't done. He slammed No Limit's music catalog, claiming that while Death Row had timeless classics like The Chronic, Doggy Style, and All Eyes on Me, nobody in prison was bumping No Limit. He claimed that Master P never visited him in prison and that he only loaned Snoop to No Limit.
You lied and said you came to visit me in prison, which you never did. You said you got Snoop for me, which you never did. I sold Snoop bitch ass to Priority Records and Brian Turner.
Petty, sure, but this wasn't just trash talk. It was Suge defending his legacy. He even mocked P's signature tank logo and chain. And it didn't stop at music or fashion. Suge even took jabs at how Master P raised his kids. The irony? While Suge was pointing fingers from prison, Master P was out here making music, business, and film moves. Suge was flexing faded memories. P was building futures. Suge accused P of everything from stealing a Tupac track to jacking female artists' ad-libs. He called him a country bunkin who bought his records to fake success. But here's the twist. Suge's rants said more about his insecurity than P's strategy. Whether or not Master P borrowed inspiration from Death Row, one thing is clear. He did it better. No Limit artists got paid. Death Row artists got paid in stress and lawsuits. No Limit was about ownership. Death Row, chaos. So maybe Suge was right. Maybe Master P did try to be like Death Row, but only in how a student tries to be better than the teacher. And in the long run, the student built a legacy. Suge Knight wasn't the only one Master P had to face in the hip-hop industry. He also had a rivalry with Birdman. In the 90s, New Orleans wasn't just cooking gumbo. It was cooking up two of the most powerful record labels in Southern hip-hop history, No Limit Records and Cash Money Records. On one side, you had Master P, a Calio Projects hustler who took his grind out west and built an empire called No Limit in Richmond, California. On the other side, you had brothers Brian Birdman Williams and